Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tyranny. In the last episode we dealt with the Disfavored forces in, was it Howling Rock? So we dealt with the Disfavored forces at the Howling Rock, and we finally put Cairn, the former Archon of Stone, to his final rest. And now we are back at Cacophony, and we are about to report to the Voices of Nerat. Did we do anything else? Oh yeah, and we also located the fort. Or is it fifth? Because we have already been at the Giant's Crossing as well, and there's there's another spire as well. So we located the fifth and last spire at Howling Rock as well, and we did try to activate it like all the others, but unfortunately we don't have the complete gargoyle drawing yet. So we don't know that what kind of a symbol we have to make on the floor, like with all the others. Yeah, I think that was all. So without further ado, let's continue with the rest of the game and report on our success to the Voices of Nerat. The Voices of Nerat regards you with an unreadable expression, like always. You are back. What do you think of our throne? As much as we hate a cold, unmoving chair, this one suits us. Without a spot to plant ourselves, we would piece the length of the old walls every day in our contemplation. Well, that throne looks rather fancy, alright. What do you need to know? We are dizzy with answers. I have successfully resolved the Edict of Stone. Oh yeah, and we also got rid of the Edict of Stone, and as we killed Cairn, and so now the random earthquakes should not be bothering the residents of the Stone Sea anymore, so they can start farming again. And Cairn, the insufferable, is vanquished from the lands. As much as that rebellious simpleton of an Archon amused us, an edict resolved is more important to our purposes. He will not be missed, and our gangs will feast on the fruit of these lands. Okay, but you would think that farming and growing fruits and vegetables and whatever is going to take some time. We thank you, dear Fatebinder, for your assistance. A shame that dire news is the only reward we have in hand. Oh. The Archon opens his palm to reveal a charred form of a carrier dove. Hours before you arrived, we received word from our agents in Vendrien's well. It would seem that Disfavored have marched across the mountains, intent on taking your spire. What? Those sons of bitches. How about some assistance? You certainly have gangs to spare and then some. If you'll excuse me. Excellent. They have saved me the effort of bringing the fight to them. Yeah, I like this. Let's go. We don't need his puny little gangs. Received a missive from Fatebinder Rogalus. An Archon's End. Dear Fatebinder Brehana. Quest completed. Nice. You ended an edict, and now you have ended an Archon. I know none in this court had such expectations for you when the Adjudicator initially brought you among us. Your quests standing tall. So many surprises in so short a span. You fascinate. While he lived, Cairn was a singular being, a titanic man born of the womb of Theratus herself, to hear some tell it. While none still living can provide account to that birth, you bore witness to his demise. Indeed, you precipitated it. I ask that you indulge my scholar's curiosity. What passed between you and the Archon of Stone in those final moments? Did the ground tear itself asunder as a widow rends her garments? Did the mountains groan a panegyric? I don't really know what that means. So anyway, did the mountains groan a panegyric to their champion? Were there any final words from Cairn, spoken or inscribed? Does the crystal that reportedly protrudes from the cliff's faces throughout Azura still glimmer? Or has it darkened? I watch eagerly for your bird. Fatebinder Rogalus. Okay. Describe interrupting the ritual. Dear Fatebinder... Oh wait. Is it... Here, yeah. Fatebinder Rogalus. Whatever the Earthshakers hope to accomplish with the remains of their errant Archon, I put an end to it. Robed magicians and ironclad warriors alike fell before the onslaught, their rituals cut off mid-chant. The power they drew forth from Cairn roiled overhead, shuddering through the land as they collected it. The assault proved enough to disrupt the fragile spellwork, however, making of it a gaping wound. The magic flowed from the Archon of Stone as readily as the blood fled his acolytes, fulfilling the purpose of the Overlord's edict. Cairn's execution was both savage and beautiful. I shall never forget it. I kinda like this one, but let's check what the others are like. Brag about felling an Archon. Not sure, I don't think I will like this, but let's see. Fatebinder Rogalus, you ask how an Archon died and I provide but one answer. By my hand. My ushering Cairn to the void stands as merely the most recent testament to my growing glory. I am making a career of ending the unendable. See you at court, Fatebinder Brehana. Yeah, I don't really care for this one. Tell him that you saved the land and spared Cairn. So, I took no satisfaction in ending Cairn, save that which one takes in fulfilling their obligations. The Archon of Stone's presence poisoned the Stone Sea. His death rose hourly, rocking the people of Old Azura. Never have I seen so much suffering caused by the choices of a sole individual. In executing the Archon of Stone, I both rid the Stone Sea of his protracted corrosion and released him from his agony. It had to be done, but there was no pleasure in it. Until we meet again, Fatefinder Brehana. Nah, this described interrupting the ritual is the best one here, so we're gonna send this. Alright now, but I guess that we have to go back and defend our spire from the invading Disfavored forces. But should I rest first? Because all of our characters still have bruised spines. Although we did just fine against the Disfavored in the zone. We are still in the Stone Sea, but we did well against the Disfavored at the Howling Rock. There we go. So we may not need to rest, but we might as well. Why make it more difficult for us? Okay, so let's rest here, and then buy some camping supplies from Vex. Are you here to buy something? Yes, I am. There. One camping supply. Do I have anything that I want to... actually, I think I have sold all the crap that I don't want in the last episode.
Will do.
So now, back to my very first original spire that we got in the first act. So to the Mountain Spire we go. Oh, looks like we can't go there. Location unreachable. This area is correctly inaccessible, so I guess that we have to go to the top. Okay, but where is the closest spire? Aurora Spire. Okay, so I guess that we first go here and then teleport to the Mountain Spire. And Dawning Spire. Oh yeah, so I believe Dawning Spire was the one that. Oh wait. Yeah, I think that the Howling Rock is somewhere over here. Yes, there it is. So we did try to get access to this spire in the last episode, but we couldn't just yet. Okay, so it's gonna take about 1.5 days. No random encounters. Okay, good. Fatebinder, put your fears to rest. Chorus reinforcements have arrived. Oh, so you did send reinforcements, even though I didn't ask. The Crimson Spear bows with a dramatic sweep of the arm. The Voice of Nerat would not let an honored ally die alone on the battlefield. Certainly not when there are disfavored heads to sculp. Just give the word and... A massive sculpture rumbles, shaking the masonry of the spire, and sending him off balance. Oh, what now? They're not going to... Oh! Shit's gone real, folks. Shit's gone real. The orb in the center of the resonator spins with the push of some unseen force. Where the structure once exuded warmth, now it gives off a ferocious heat that sings your face the longer you stare into it. A sound like music swarms in the air around the structure, but it's painful and disharmonious to your ears. Well, this is shit! You said it. Sirin has to shout over the disharmonious music. You would think a spire would know some better songs, but I guess there's no accounting for taste. She refocuses on you with a mixed expression. You do realize that the energies of this place are all centered on you. I don't know what makes you so special. The spire is now fully awake. Its long dormant currents of energy dance to your presence. The tines of your spire, they quiver with arcane undulation. He taps the chin of his mask, purring softly. Exquisite. But what exactly is happening? The spire almost has a mind of its own. I should see what's going on. The spire often communicates in visions. Perhaps this is its way of saying it has something to discuss. As the ruler of the spire, I have a mystic link to this place. Give me a moment and I'll get to the bottom of this. The spire almost has a mind of its own. I should see what's going on. Then listen with all your ears can muster, Fatebinder. For I certainly hope you and this stone monolith have some surprise tucked up your sleeve. He points to the Disfavored army below. Preferably a very big surprise. When I broke the Edict of Fire, I was flooded by an intuition of how it all works. I could try proclaiming it without Kairos' words. Damn, we can now cast our own edicts. Or so it looks like. When I shattered the Edict of Stone, I was struck by a flood of visions. Mystic wisdom about the edict. I could try proclaiming it without Kairos' words. The spire resonates my voice. I'll shout to the valley that I have an edict from Kairos. That should get them running. Just let me think, I handle this. We have to cast an edict. I was thinking about just going down there and facing the disfavored forces by ourselves. But then again, there may be too many of them, and that's why we have to cast an edict. Okay, so... But the problem with these edicts are that they are kinda going to fuck up this, the Vendrien's well, aren't they? But then again, if we don't give any conditions to them, like Kairos did, then maybe it won't be that bad. Like, if we cast the Edict of Stone, then the Vendrien's well won't be tormented by constant random earthquakes every now and then, like it did in the Stone Sea. Should I just yell at them and tell them that I got an Edict of Kairos, run away or perish? Should I really... Or would she rather do it? Well, she doesn't really like or doesn't understand magic that well. She would rather deal with her problems with her own brute physical force and strength, but... Let's see, what other options do we have? Just let me think, I'll handle this. Oh, of course you will. The Crimson Spear smacks his palm against his mask. I'll just stand here while you improvise your way out of this disaster. You don't have much faith in me, do you? Received a missive from Fatebinder Rogalus. Well, might as well do this real quick. And standing tall, use the resonator, so I guess we have to cast an edict of some sort. Fatebinder Brehana. Fascinating. Such complex rites, requiring numerous trained magicians, carefully shaping sigils with slight variations and specific focus, I don't know, have historically presented difficulties when confronted by the unexpected. I am glad in it that you were able to interrupt the Earthshaker plot. Only Kairos knows what madness they had planned for that colossal stone corpse. Thank you for your response and your continued service. Fatebinder Rogalus. Well, at least he seems to be happy about the fact that we stopped them and put an end to the Archon of Stone. Okay, so... The mystic hum of the spire pulses to the cadence of your heart. The ancient structure awaits your command. There's still so much that doesn't make sense. What could possibly go wrong? there's still so much that doesn't make sense. I would agree. The Archon of Secrets has shared much with me, but this is beyond even my erudite mind. The air ripples with heat and the spires hum. A low chanting of your name echoes throughout your head. I am not sure who's actually in control here. Is the spire enchanting my powers, or am I fueling the power of the spire? My link to the spire is confounding. Why me? The spires in the tiers are linked. Just how far does this connection go? Why me? And with that you hear your own voice echo in your mind. Kairos, Edict of Execution should be no more. Your mind flashes back to the assault on Ascension Hall, to the moment you fulfill the word of Kairos' edict. Sensations of searing heat and chilling cold curse through your body as you relive the weightless moment when the edict broke, the fateful instance when the Levi vanished and the arcane currents of Kairos' magic were set free. It was in this moment that the spire's old sigil of awakening, long covered by its prior occupants, was set ablaze by the arcane tempest. The spire knows the first moment it found you, and so now you know this too, but whether the meeting was by accident or design is unknown to both of you. You had a distant look about you. Is your big stone edifice talking to you again? Here's hoping it was enlightening. There was a flash of the assault on Ascension Hall and the resolution of the Edict of Execution. The arcane backlash of the broken edict seems the purple cause. Just imagine and sounds, no firm answers. I proved my word by resolving Kairos' edict. Now the spire has chosen me. Enough navigating, I know what I need to do. I proved my word by resolving Kairos' edict. Now the spire has chosen me, I guess. I told Nerat we ought to slay you before you become a problem. I mean that in the nicest way, of course. Just look at you now. A most remarkable specimen. Well, thanks, I guess. The air ripples with heat and the spires hum. A low chanting of your name echoes throughout your head. Touch the resonator and concentrate, because what could possibly go wrong? As you touch the stone structure, your sense of the moment slows, and you feel the entirety of the tiers at your fingertips. The spire stands ready to channel your will. Oh damn. Okay, select a region to view its current edict, or to issue a new one. Well, we have... Okay, so now we have selected the Vendrien as well, and we have the Edict of Fire. Party effects, plus 15 to all magic skills, 15% of frost damage converted to health, that sounds interesting, plus 5% potion effectiveness. Enemy effects, plus 15 to all magic skills, empowered bane, minus 4 quickness. So, exhausting desert-like heat withers the region and dries up all natural sources of water. Well, that doesn't sound very good. All characters have their magic skill increased. The Fatebinder's party also heals a portion of frost damage received, and consumables are far more effective. Foes become fatigued and have a penalty to quickness. Okay. Well, I don't want to drain all the water, and we don't really do much with the magic skills. Well, Lantry and I believe that Siri and of course Ebb would benefit from it, but not me, or Barrick, Verse, and Kills in Shadow. The Edict of Fire brings the energy of fire to large regions of the world. This generates incredible heat, sometimes flame, as well as strengthening the powers of magic. Yeah, okay. Edict of Stone. The Edict of Stone leaches magical energy from the sky and living creatures, storing it in the rocks below. This energy can lead to earthquakes and the slow petrification of the living. So, minus 15 to all magic skills, plus 30 control stone, and plus 20 defense against prone attacks. Now this sounds more like something that our character that Brehana could benefit from. At least she can't be knocked down that easily. Or anyone else for that matter. The Bane are weakened. Okay, okay. But then again, we can't also knock the enemies down that easily either, apparently. Tremors and earthquakes plague the region. Periodic rumbles and shifting cause characters to fall prone in combat. All characters have stoned magic skill increased. The party gains an increase to prone defense, while foes have prone durations increased. Oh! Plus 20 defense against prone attacks and plus 20% prone duration. Ah, okay. Oh, never mind. So this is a big nerf to them. So if we knock them down, they stay on the ground 20% longer. That's how I understand this. What's this? Ah, okay. Ah, okay, I see. So, I guess we just do Edict of Stone. This Edict of Stone seems to be the most useful to our character here. Minus 15 to all magic skills, and it does hurt quite a bit, because I assume that it's also going to affect the amount of healing we get from Lantry. But I wonder, do these buffs and nerfs only affect characters inside the Vendrien's well? Yeah, I believe that's how it works. It only makes sense. And if we get minus 15 to all magic skills, I think I might as well take replace Lantry for a moment and then take someone else. I've had Lantry in my party for so long because he's the only healer and everything. Well, let's just issue the Edict of Stone. Oh shit. No! How is that possible? Kairos gave you this edict, yes? To be read against the Disfavored. You didn't just do that yourself? The Crimson Spear takes a half step back. Did you? I had a feeling that might work. Glares silently. Having broken the edict, I seem to be able to recreate it, if in a limited fashion. I had a feeling that might work. His hands reach up and slowly grip the sides of his mask. Oh, this changes everything. Even the Voice of Nerat couldn't have seen this coming. Could he? Well, you never know. Distant shouts and roars draw the Fifth Eye's attention to the army amassing below. But first things first, your edict has sown fear and disorder throughout the Disfavored. We must strike now, at the zenith of confusion. The Fifth Eye struts toward the portal with a twill of his spear. Their suffering has just begun. Join us, Fatebinder. I would hate for you to miss the fun. Indeed. I would hate it too, so let's go. So we do get to fight. Nice. But, well, let's take Lantry with us for this fight and see that just how much weaker his spells are. Okay, where are they? Oh. Most of them are petrified and turned into stone. Well, there they go. So much from that fighting. Oh wait, there we go. So we do get to fight. Fuck yes. A cadre of disfavored warriors lumbers into the country yard. Their movement slow, deliberate, and shielded as they compensate for the tremors that have gripped the valley at your command. What pact did you make with the traitor Archon Cairn to invoke such power? Siperos, now dressed in the regalia of the Iron Guard, steps forward. Siperos, have we met this guy before? He might be that blonde, disfavored commander we met during the first act here in Vendrien's well. Well, anyway, no matter. That's a question for the Earthshakers. They'll no doubt enjoy interrogating the crippled, maimed husk you'll soon become. Well, we'll see about that. He turns to his soldiers and lifts his hand in the air, moving in rehearsed unison. The warriors snap to formation and ready their weapons. Disfavored, Wrath 5. Awaiting Siperos' signal to charge, many of the soldiers hesitate, their attention more on the destruction around them, even Siperos' orders. Then Siperos' orders. Athletics 60. Brandish your weapon menacingly. I wonder which of you will scream the longest before dying. Or lore. Fools, did you not hear me proclaim that edict? Either I cast that edict by myself, or did so with the Overlord's blessing. Think that through very carefully. I don't think I'm gonna go with this. You were brave to press on through the edict. I will happily give you a warrior's death. I kinda like this one too. But I think we are gonna go with the athletics option here. I wonder which of you will scream the longest before dying. Oh wait, should we still go with this? I'm sorry. I like how honorable this sounds. You were brave to press on through the edict. I will happily give you a warrior's death. I kinda like this option too. I wonder which of you will scream the longest before dying. You know what, fuck it, let's go with this. Athletic skill experience. Don't make us laugh, Binder. Even the loveliest disfavored recruit has years more training than you. Siperos points to the back of his group. Look, even our youngest stands ready to... Siperos looks at the soldier he pointed toward, a young stone shield nervously shuffling backward, distancing himself from the fight. Come on, stand your ground. We can best this traitor. Just show some spine. His words too little to steady the warrior, and you see glimpses of hesitation and doubt in the body language of the troops. Enough prattle. Advance. Slay this operation of justice and bring glory to Graven Ash. Siperos gives the signal to attack and rushes toward with a roar. Okay, but will the others? No, this one won't. He's terrified and weakened. And neither will these two apparently as well. Only these two have the will to fight. Okay, so we go for Siperos, and you focus on this Oathbound here. You can actually give all of us armor. And Sirin, just do your thing.
Right.
You sunder on this. Buff me. Skewer this one. And draw some pens.
Take care.
Or maybe you should help. What was your name? Fifth Eye with this one. Trust.
Will do.
So far we are doing great. We're not losing any health whatsoever.
Damn thing couldn't pierce claw.
But it could also be because of the edict and because these guys are terrified and weakened and stuff.
See that? I'm not entirely.
Oh, never mind. She's screwed. Seal quickly. Let's see what all these do again. Prone and dazed. Yeah, use that. Why not? And verse is just fine. Good. And Siperos is down, and we are there. Okay. Knock this one back.
Got it.
Why that never works? Immune to prone. Why? They don't have Edict of Stone. Yeah, the edict is not giving them bonuses to prone defense. I don't know. But for some reason my knockdown kick never seems to work. Okay, verse. Kill this one.
Count on it.
There's more. Forge-bound apprentices and mastersmith. Okay. You shoot an arrow there. Knock him down. Santo there. 3 more to go. 2. And 1. I kinda feel sorry for this poor Oathbound here. He's terrified. He looks like he pissed his pants.
What the fuck is wrong with my weapon?
Don't complain about your weapon now, Verse. I mean, we are slaughtering these poor bastards. Come on, take him down already. He keeps healing because of Graven Ashes Aegis, or whatever it was called. Look at the iron pigs bleed. Chortling with glee, Fifth Eye spins his spear, spattering blood in a wide arc. We have done it. They are... Stumbling over a slight tremor, he plants his spear into the ground to catch his balance. They are falling back. So much for disfavored courage. Your Edict of Stone has them terrified. We have the country under our control. Leave the cleanup duty to me and my gang. Make haste at top of the spire. No doubt you'll want a bird's eye view of the disfavored turning tail and running in shame. Yeah, that would actually be nice to see. And I see that there's some loot around here. Might as well pick them up. Sevius, do you have something? Indeed you do. Iron Guard Greatsword. This looks familiar. I think we have picked up something like this already. Varric is most likely going to be happy to wield that. But I don't think that he's going to be happy when he finds out that how we got that. A simple bronze axe, nothing interesting. Might as well sell that shit away. And there's no one else over here, right?
I'm carrying too much.
Okay.
Oh. Have a look here.
What do we have here? Archer camp supplies and potions, that's good. Now, can we open... We should be able to open this gate. I mean, it's our gate and everything. Look, even our banners are hanging here. No,
Sorry, I can't.
No, we can't go there, apparently. Not yet, anyway. Okay, so back to the top of our spire. Back to the top of our spire, even. The zeal and fervor that the disfavored brought to the battle evaporate in the face of your edict, and the ease with which you dispatch their leader. Your overwhelming display of power sends panic and terror rippling through the enemy ranks. The survivors carry with them rumors that defy belief. The Tears has another Archon, one showing the power of Kairos, the power to cast edicts. Confusion sets in across the realm. Amid the whispers and misinformation, one fact remains consistent. The Overlord's power has been challenged. You safely assume that such rumors are making their way back to Kairos. Powerful earthquakes roll underfoot. The vibrations ring in your spire like a wet rag, threatening to send it crashing to the ground. Your stronghold slowly settles, the terrain only occasionally rocked by a solid tremor. Over the next few days, the land eventually returns to normal as your edict dissipates. Oh, that's good to hear. You gather a small council of your closest allies and plan your next steps from the safety of your spire. No sooner do you get startled than Kallio, Fatebinder of Tunon, pays a visit bearing an important message. And Fatebinder Kallio. I keep hearing about this little spire you have been calling your own. Nothing with a smirk, Fatebinder Kallio peers over the edge of the tower. Now that you have slaughtered those who would take your lands, I think your claim is as official as it gets. What did I do to earn a visit from a Fatebinder? Do you have an edict to proclaim against me? Very silently. Nice to see you, but how did you get up here? Well, she used the teleporter, of course. Dumbass. Let me guess, you're here to investigate what has happened. Yeah, you're here to investigate what just happened? Or... Yeah. Are you here to investigate? Naturally. She nods with a smile. Tunon expects me to give a full report, but today I come bearing an important message. Not an edict, but commandments from the mouth of the Overlord all the same. No one's entirely sure what to make of you these days, Brihanna. They all say you spoke an Edict of Stone. Not a proclamation of an Edict of Kairos, but your own Edict of Stone. Your own arcane tremors. You are no mere Fatebinder, of that much we can be certain. You have proclaimed and broken the Overlord's edict perhaps one too many times. If I had known you could do this when I first met you, I would maybe have tried in earnest to kill you. I hope for the sake of Teratus that the right person has inherited this gift. I don't know what to make of you, Fatebinder. Proclaiming and breaking the Overlord's magic, claiming these awful towers. It should come as no surprise that an edict is within your grasp, but I still find room for surprise. You are powerful in ways that gang bosses and mages aren't. You commanded this place to do your bidding, and unleashed something incredible on the world. That isn't the work of a Fatebinder. If anything, it's the work of an Archon. Beastwoman will follow Alpha from here to ends of Tyr's lands and farther still. We'll paw prowl, deep into cold north, hunting armies of Kairos at Alpha's side. Together, Shadowhunter and Alpha will slaughter the whole of Prima's tribe. Yeah, whole of Prima's tribe. Is she referring to Kairos here? Shadowhunter and Alpha will slaughter the whole of Prima's tribe. I guess so. I don't have any idea how you are able to do this, but it isn't power that any scholar can wield. This is something else. You are not some ambitious hedge mage who learned it out of a book. You are more like an Archon, where it just comes naturally. She shakes her head with a grin. I always knew you would be a delightful bit of trouble, but I didn't think you had a touch of the Overlord's power in you. Why didn't you tell me? I genuinely didn't know I had it in me. Please, it seems a bit presumptuous to claim the Overlord's power. I still don't fully understand this power just yet. And now that I have this power, others will fear me, and for good reason. I'm still not sure this power is entirely my own, or what it all means. You have known me a long time. My greatness shouldn't be a surprise. I kinda like this too, but sounds a bit too braggy. So I assume this means you'll be addressing me as Overlord now. No, I don't think so. I genuinely didn't know I had it in me. Or this. It seems a bit presumptuous to claim the Overlord's power. I still don't fully understand this power just yet. I genuinely didn't know I had it in me. You didn't know if it would work, and you decided to play with the arcane equivalent of a mountain tipping over? My confidence in your swells, Fatebinder. It's only natural to have doubted yourself. The edicts have always been the magic of Kairos and Kairos alone. Anyone claiming to be able to cast an edict would be presumed crazy. And yet, a sane man watching what you just did would see the power of the Overlord in your voice. Curious. She taps her chin in thought, looking at you head to toe. Suppose you have no reason to play the fool. I'll say that however it is you came into this power, know that you have drawn the attention of the Overlord. So, congratulations, I think? No, I would not be too happy about that, to be honest. If I was in her shoes. I come bearing orders direct from the Overlord. Kallio clears her throat, her voice becoming somber and severe. Kairos has decreed two things. First, the Overlord has demanded that one and only one Archon is fit to rule the tiers. To that end, the Archons are set to settle through depth or dominance, who is the one Archon fit to inherit the tiers. And the second decree? So the Overlord wants even more civil war? Well, it's not like the situation is going to be any different. The Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus are going to fight regardless. Have the Archons been informed of this yet? Loyal subjects of Kairos don't turn on each other. This is how this madness started, with the Archons falling into disorder. So I was just given permission to kill or subjugate the Archons. Okay, Well, and the second decree? Kairos has decreed you are the newest Archon. Fatebinder Kallio bows with exaggerated flourish. So the other Archons now have orders to control or destroy you, and the other way around. Her face becomes a beaming smile. See, this is why I try to avoid getting Kairos' attention. What if we don't fight? Why not ignore this order? And to be clear, this is a command from Kairos, but not an edict. Wait, now I'm an Archon? I issued an edict. I think that makes me more than an Archon. What if we don't fight? Well, my character doesn't back off from a fight. And to be clear, this is a command from Kairos, but not an edict. Correct. There's no edict back in this order. She smiles, a toothy grin. Such encouragement hardly seems necessary when the task is its own reward. The Overlord has merely rescinded Kairos' peace. The Archons may kill and maim each other without breaking any laws. It's going to be a Wild West here. Kairos knows, rightly so, that enmities new and old will drive the Archons to mutual destruction. The Overlord need only remove the pretense of peace and watch the ensuing violence. Kallio shrugs with a smile. Would you have preferred another do-or-die edict? No, I think I would have gone to deal with the Graven Ash and the Voice of Nerat by myself just fine, even without any encouragement. I have heard enough, and I know what comes next. The other Archons will bend to my will or die. The Voice of Nerat now has a great deal of reason to fear me. This order will complicate our alliance. Well, our alliance, yes, but I want to take the Scarlet Chorus all for myself. What of the court? Have you heard what Tunon and Blade and Mark think of this? Oh yeah, well, Tunon of course is an Archon himself as well, and Blade and Mark, I completely forgot about him, the assassin. I'll let them fight it out. I'm safe up here on my spire. Now that sounds too cowardly, we are certainly not going to say this. I think I'm more troubled by this sudden promotion to Archon. Well, what of the court? Have you heard what Tunon and Blade and Mark think of this? Go away. As per usual, Tunon has the emotional range of Pumice, but Blade and Mark seemed almost giddy. I think the old Shadow is already putting names on his daggers. I was wondering if Blade and Mark would hear this order and promptly stab Tunon. But no, it would seem the Archon of Shadow is happy to serve Tunon. Makes sense. I've never known the old Shadow to crave that kind of power. She clears her throat, her voice growing somber. You'll have to deal with them too, and I fear greatly for how that will turn out. I imagine Tunon is too loyal to bow to you, and Blade and Mark too proud to accept you as his better. She nods quietly for a long moment. There is no way this ends well for some of us. Well, for some of us indeed, and one of those people is going to be Graven Ash. He's going to die at the very least. The Voice of Nerat now has a great deal of reason to fear me. This order will complicate our alliance. Well, that's certainly true. The other Archons will bend to my will or die. Basically the same thing. Yeah, the Voice of Nerat now has a great deal of reason to fear me. This order will complicate our alliance. Oh, I'm sure you two have a lovely little discussion ahead of you. And I think we both know he'll be aiming to convince you to submit. And eager to use you to kill the other Archons, I would bet. Oh yeah, I bet the same thing. So... Well, I have heard enough, and I know what comes next. The other Archons will bend to my will or die. Guess we go with this option after all. Tune on favor 2. First step is deciding you won't bow to one of the other Archons. Kali offers a smug nod. I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming struggle. Know that when you come for Blade and Mark and Tune on, I and the other Fatebinders won't interfere. Well, that's good to know. I would have hated to kill you. Let's get one thing clear. I want no part of this little contest. Fatebinder? Sorry. Archon, I bow to you. The rest of you madmen can fight over the right to rule this mountainous shithole. Oh yeah, I forgot. Tyranny is also an Archon. Archon of Stone. Well, that's out of the way then. She is bowing to me. As expected. I didn't expect her to fight back. And especially not against the other Archons. I accept that, thank you. Just like that. This is for posterity's sake, so more formality, please. Just like that. Just like that. I have better things to do with my life than throw it away in some pissing match. You all have fun trying to prove who is more powerful. I already know. Oh really? Who are you betting for? A question me and the other binders have been asking, can you do this again? Nunoval believes in you. Another who shall remain nameless takes the more cynical stance that the Overlord has a hand so far up your ass she can puppet your mouth, and you couldn't cast a second edict if you tried. She sizes you up head to toe. Me? I think you have it in you. Or at least I like the idea of proclaiming an edict of yours someday. I think Raven Ash and his legion might enjoy an edict on his fortress of Iron Heart in the Blade Grave. But I rather just go in there and just fight them fair and square. Well, that's what my character thinks anyway. Glare slightly. Now that you mention it, curiosity demands we try having you proclaim an edict of mine. That's an interesting idea. But if I wanted to cast an edict, I would do it myself. I'm certain I have it in me to cast another edict, but I'm not sure I want to play recklessly with this power. I'm certain I have it in me to cast another edict, but I'm not sure I want to play recklessly with this power. Lost fear with Ebb and gained loyalty with Ebb. Well, that's nice. That sounds remarkably wise. Ebb lets out a long sigh. I think you can and should use this power to stop your foes, but as you grow in power, your edicts might remain longer. It would be a shame to leave an arcane disaster that haunts us long after the problem is solved. Considering the terrible damage you'll inflict if you screw up what you are doing, I can't blame you for being cautious. With a nod, Kallio begins to make her way to the exit. When you rule Terratus, look me up. If you're successful, I know I'll be in need of a new Archon to serve. Oh, thanks, Kallio. I'll keep that in mind. I know I'm mostly sober, but just so we are clear, you did just issue an edict, right? Lantry taps his quill to his tongue, unsure of what next to write. First you cast an edict, then this full-on war of Archons. This whole chapter of Chronicle is... it's reading like fiction. So, Kairos has ordered all the Archons to fight it until only the strongest remain. I think we can now safely say that the Scarlet Chorus philosophy has been vindicated. A rumbling mother steers from under Barrick's helmet, devoid of any coherent words. Alpha-birthed own words of power like humans, Prima called Kairos, is better mystic than Broodmother to kill Shin's shadow, than Stonestalker's 100 blood, than Beastwoman Archon slaughtered by Mark of Shadows. She snorts and grins savagely. Killshin Shadow knew Alpha was most powerful human in whole of Tyr's lands. A curved claw taps in the side of her snout. Nose was not wrong. Indeed it wasn't. One last thing. Hesitating before she leaves, Kallio taps the parchment she's been holding to her forehead with a self-deprecating scoff. All this talk of you being the second coming of the Overlord, and I almost forgot my duties. This is a court summons from Blade Mark, Tunon's assassin. I suggest you read it carefully as part of your preparations. Your survival may depend on it. Good luck, Archon. Thank you, Fatebinder, Kallio. Archon, we must speak before this goes further than it already has. Yeah, I was kinda expecting that. Barrick does, because Barrick is most likely not going to like the idea of us going after Graven Ash. I found something interesting in these chronicle fragments. When you have a moment, perhaps you can indulge my curiosity. Okay. I know you have got a thing or two on your plate, but if you could make some time for me, a little bird has brought us some interesting news, and I would hate to have to go stabbing people without you. Oh, you get another quest? Okay. Oh, the screen froze for a moment. So I think we can now go to Ironheart, the fortress of the Disfavored. Anyway, Archon, Fatebinder. The fifth eye dispels his words like a cloud of gnats. Whatever you call yourself, our agents have infiltrated the outskirts of Ironheart. Ash and his troops are as exposed as a raw nerve. Before you make the final assault, the Voice of Nerat wants to discuss that stunt you pulled. Yes? People are beginning to talk, and the Archon doesn't want there to be any misunderstandings. You are to meet the Archon at Cacophony before we hurl our forces at Ironheart. I know your warlike ways compel you to do otherwise, but we really must insist. Well, at least I can do that much. Very well, tell the Voice I'll meet him at Cacophony. I am not his errand girl. Perhaps later I will pay him a visit. Should we be polite or just tell him to fuck off? I am not his errand girl. Well, we certainly aren't, not anymore. Perhaps later I will pay him a visit. Let's go with this. This sounds more like a neutral option. He will be overjoyed. You know how he loves to entertain company, even in these trying times. And Fatebinder. His piercing reedy tone subsides for a moment, sounding almost normal. Remember who you are going to meet. The Archon of Secrets loves nothing more than a challenge, but he also loves to win. He tilts his head to the side in confusion, and then shrugs in a casual manner. The fifth eye waves you off with an enthusiastic flap of his fingers. Okay, so a Trial of Shadows. So that quest is completed, and 3 of our companions want to talk to us. Standing tall, return to the Mountain Spire. Oh, that's already done as well. Any more completed quests? New quest. Travel to the Bastard City. Oh yeah, to meet with Tunon. But I don't think we are gonna do that in this episode. Yeah, new missive. The one we just got from Kallio. So I don't think that we are gonna go to the Bastard City or anywhere else really. I speak with the Voices of Nerat, yeah. So I think that for the rest of the episode I'm just gonna talk to my companions, Lantry, Barrick and Verse, I think it was. But let's start with the Blade Mark's letter. I will only ask once. Well, this sounds serious. Kid, I take it you are aware of the Overlord's latest decree. If not, let me give it to you straight. Now's a bad time to be an Archon in the tiers. Since most likely I'll be the one to cut you down. I thought I would first explain, it's not my choice. But if it was, I would still choose to kill you. See you soon. Blade Mark, Archon of Shadows and Court Blade. Well, at least he's honest. Arrange a meeting. Blade Mark, if I am to die by your hand, I would prefer it be in battle, face to face. Or would that be face to shadow? Regardless, at the risk of depriving you the thrill of a good ambush, I would ask that we meet in person as peers, drawing blades openly, if that is what it is to come to. On the reverse of this parchment, I have mapped for you a location in the wilderness. Let us meet and settle things there. I'll provide you 2 days to scout the location in advance should you require. Hope to see you there, Brehana. So basically we are challenging him to an open duel. So that he won't try to assassinate us from the shadows when we least expect it. I like that. Say something cordial. My dearest Mark, I must sincerely thank you for the forward warning. Please know that I have indeed taken your words to heart, and as such return the following in reply. Certainly I would not expect you to follow me without first testing my mettle. If we must slay each other, so be it. I respect your prowess and will stand my ground if a duel is what you desire, but I would ask that you consider instead pledging your blade to me, rather than aiming it for my throat. Does Kairos' decree insist that we kill each other, or merely that one should best the other? Don't really like that too much. Taunt the Archon of Shadows. Well, this is a long one. Mark. I'm sorry, who are you again? Oh right, that creepy guy who stares at people from the shadows. If you want to say hello, just come talk to me already. I should thank Kairos, as the Overlord has finally unburdened me of the need to treat you like anything more than what you are, a sad little sociopath who will soon be gasping for his last breath at the end of my weapon. Did your predilection for children turn even the cast metal stomach of the chorus? I have often wondered what crime Tunon must have on you to keep you on such a short a leash. Of course, short leashes are ideal if the servant lives only to lick his master's feet. Sharpen your blades, freak. I'm coming for you. Because, let's face it, you can't come for me because you are ordered to, can you? Brehana. As amusing as this is, I think I'm gonna go with this meeting thingy. I like this. Sounds more honorable and warrior-like, if you know what I mean. Just challenge him to a duel and get it over with. So let's send this. Okay, so... And now to chat with my other companions. So, Lantry. Finishing the last pen strokes of a nose running about his left arm, Lantry looks at you with a nod.
Not to steal your glorious day in the sun, but I must say, now all my notes on you are suddenly worth 10 times their weight in iron. My journals will melt the linens off the ladies, I tell you. What's that you say? Buxom, nubile lasses with an interest in old men who know history. You need a definitive tractatus on the trials and tribulations of the Archon of the Tears? Ha! Well, you're in luck. I think one can safely conclude that you have the Overlord's attention, and that of the Tears. Soon, all of Taratas. You realize, I trust, I hope, that nobody other than Kairos has ever cast an edict until you.
Also safe to assume Kairos will try to solve me in some fashion. My newfound powers don't change the fact that I am loyal to Kairos, but I am likely to be perceived as a threat all the same. Happen to know when Kairos first cast an edict? That's actually an interesting question. Lawbreaker option. Are you sure history hasn't just edited or forgotten those who could rival the Overlord? So, happen to know when Kairos first cast an edict?
Good question. In parts north, it's commonly held that Kairos' Edict of Dust was the first, but it was cast in the year 11. It was just the first edict to ripple across the whole of Taratas. If you lived somewhere that used to have antelope, you probably think that's the first edict of the Overlord.
Year 11, and now it's year over 400. I think it's year 430 something. So the Overlord is over 400 years old.
But here, the answer is given to us by the Overlord's own sense of posterity. Year 0 of Kairos' calendar is said to correspond to the day Kairos went from warlord to wearer of many crowns, a victory won when the first Edict of Storms shocked both the Cloud Barons and the realm of Medrev to capitulate.
Interesting. Antelope, is that an animal? Well, yes. That's kind of a weird question. Also safe to assume Kairos will try to solve me in some fashion.
At the same time, If you really were a meaningful threat, you'd have already been the victim of an edict, or bled in Mark's daggers. So this has me rather curious. Just what does the Overlord wish to do with you?
Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough. We should get going. By the way, I found something of interest in the Chronicle text we recovered from Bastard's Wound. Ah, we are back with the Bastard's Wound stuff. Okay. More bits of creative history. Despite the madness of late, I have been finding time to read further. I keep reading the improved histories. It sends me into a fit, but I can't stop. I'm obsessed with the feeling of rightness, indignation, and probably need help. Anyway, Lexime left a lot of notes in the margins, and they lead me to believe she stashed some tombs topside before she arrived at Bastard's Wound. You found a message? So we have to go back and look for more tombs? Not really a huge fan of that, to be honest. With all this other shit going on, we could go back and ask her. Well, I don't think she could really answer anymore, because she's a sleepless and she becomes more and more tired and you know what I mean. You found a message? Explain. Back in the day, as it were, she and I had a shorthand for communicating in code. Lexime has many notes to herself written in some corners and, well, I can read her scribbles. She mentions another hiding spot, but to decipher the directions exactly, I would need a copy of Histories of Sunder, revised. If my old cottage is still intact, I have a copy there. Ah, we are gonna go to your cottage. You need one more book so you can find one more book? This is ridiculous. That's all I need to hear. Let's go and find it. You have a cottage? I thought sages live in the Vellum Citadel. Oh, sure, but most of us elder sages get persnicket. That's a new word to me. Sages get persnickety and long for some solitude after decades cloistered with the others. Besides, I did field study, so I was rarely expected to be anywhere at any given time. The sages sent you away for field studies? They were probably just tired of listening to you blather on. I highly doubt that, Siren. They're all historians and everything. You need one more book so you can find one more book? This is ridiculous. Lexime and I commissioned duplicate manuscripts of Histories of Sunder, revised, and with our identical copies created a sort of code. She's written several triplets of numbers, and they relate to page, paragraph, and words in the books. It only works if we have the exact same book. Just an hour or so with my old tome, and I could decipher the directions. Maybe some other time. Yes, I suppose things have changed now that you are an Archon and we have more pressing concerns. Some other time. I do want to do this, but I do want to do that quest, but well, let's think that some other time. But now, Barrick.
I have come to regard knowledge as a kind of curse, and I better understand the Overlord's injunctions against too much of it. In knowing why my armor clings to me, I think I began feeling it grow into me. Has it buried itself deeper within me? Or do I imagine this?
Well, I know about that.
Kairos has ordered that the Archons determine a ruler of the tiers from among themselves. This is the time to go to Archon Ash, submit to him, and beg clemency.
How about no? I'm not doing that. I'll consider your options as they become clearer. No, we're not gonna consider that. We have been killing way too many of his boys and girls that I don't think that he would... I don't think that he would even accept our apologies or whatever, even if we went to beg for our lives before him. No, Ash will bow to me, or he will perish. How many Disfavored have we killed together? Is that not a capital offense in your legion? Take the final step. Reject Ash and pledge yourself to me. I kind of want to say both of these. Damn it, I should have saved. Should have saved before we started this. No, Ash will bow to me, or he will perish.
Perish? I know that you possess a power that echoes the Overlord's. But to challenge the Archon of War, now that Kairos has lifted the peace between the Archons.
He shakes his head roughly.
That you can does not indicate you should. Make peace with the General Archon. I would not have you stand opposite him on the field of battle. Only tragedy can result.
Well, yeah, people usually die in war. So he... New quest, never free. Kill Craven Ash. Okay. Let's see, real quick. I can scarcely believe it. You proclaim an edict. You wield the power of the Overlord for a moment, perhaps, but it was enough to turn the tide of battle in our favor. That simply doesn't happen. The Overlord's magic is as unknowable as anything on Terratus, as mysterious and, well, I was about to say as unapproachable as the spires, but you have cleanly dispelled that notion. This can only mean trouble for us. Kairos doesn't tolerate competition. What do you suggest I do next? Questions?
What can I do for you?
Okay. What are your thoughts on me and my deeds? The Disfavored loathe you. Each day I spent with you no doubt harms my standing in the Legion. I am bound to not kill you while you sleep, but know that I could likely win the Legion's favor with such a move. Your story is becoming something of a legend. It would seem you have a touch of the Overlord's gift. I do not know what to make of it myself, but like most, I'm curious and terrified to see what you'll do next. You have something of a following among the Scarlet Chorus. Did you always aspire to be the idol of thieves and rapists? If so, you have done yourself proud. Barrick steps in close. The smell of rancid olive oil creeps with him. I may speak out of turn, but you ask my opinion. You play a dangerous game courting the Chorus's approval. Do not let it interfere with you owed to Tunon and the Overlord's laws. Any reservations aside, your military record speaks for itself. You are Tunon's Fatebinder, and my opinions on the matter don't come into it one way or another. Okay, let's talk about something else. And we'll talk later.
You look as if you have something on your mind. What
Yeah.
can I do for you?
I would like to know more about you. Well, might as well. He stares at you with a vacant expression, as if searching for any fabrication or mockery behind your words. At last he lets his shoulders sag with a heavy sigh. I am the line your enemies cannot cross. All other details are meaningless, but I suspect you have some thirst for details, so ask away. Did you seek the trade of war, or did it find you? Tell about your name. What's the story with your armor? Well, we already know that. As with all Disfavored, I assume you grew up in the Northern Empire. That's right. I grew up in Battle's Rest, then trained at Fort Resolution before they marched me out to support the second cohort. I hope to spend my rusting years in Freten's shores, unless of course I die in glorious battle, which would be preferable. My mother is good with the soil, my father with rings. He spends much of his time away on one merchant's errand or another. Still, I'm lucky to say they are both alive. Lucky, but not always proud. When this war is over, I will have some very direct words with my father about his habits abroad. Oh yeah, because he had an affair with Verse's mother, and thus Verse was born. Did you seek the trade of war, or did it find you? Both, I suppose. I knew fighting was in my blood, and the Disfavored offered me a chance to use my skills to bring peace. Otherwise, I would have wound up some brigand or an enforcer to a crooked merchant. Varric taps his scabbard, looking away in thought. You think Ash and his legion bring peace? That's cute, but it doesn't hold water from where I'm standing, big guy. I have seen them spill as much blood as any Chorus gang. You have clearly been too busy sacking villages and stealing crops to notice how a proper army conducts a war. We sow order, not discord. Versus a point that his favored could reconsider their approach. Varric is right, the Scarlet Corps is too chaotic to recognize order. You two are worse than Ash and the Voices, stop this at once. Yeah. Drawing himself up, Varric glares at you with distaste. Speaking ill of the great general is not wise while I am in earshot, Fatebinder. Hey, the boss has a point. Trading jabs is fun, but it's not going to get us anywhere. Verse chuckles and shakes her head. May I continue my story, or do you plan on interrupting again? Varric waits till Verse makes a rude, dismissive wave before continuing. The Disfavored needed recruits in anticipation of the march south. They offered to care for my mother and brother as long as I stayed with the Legion, which is a better guarantee than you'll find anywhere else. I was an elite fighter as far as most were concerned, though still green by Disfavored standards. Luckily for everyone, my skills improved under the Iron Marshal's rigorous training. And, well, guess we could ask about his name. You have no right to such information. Only a true friend or an ally to the Legion has any claim to my informal speech. Well damn, I guess he's not loyal enough to us. Okay, I guess that's everything. Yeah, we'll talk later. And then, who was the other one who wanted to talk? Verse, yeah. So, Verse? Hey, Binder, let me get something off my chest. Verse nods to grab your attention. I burn inside. When I dance, it's like I'm trying to let out the fire, to quench it in blood. Instead, I just end up stoking the flames. Shit, did any of that make any sense? She smooths down her feathers and sighs. I think I follow. And by I mean Brahana can follow, but not me. I don't understand. I have always had such a strong connection to my Furies. That bond made me feel, I don't know exactly, like part of something. Now it feels like they are in me. They rise up when I dance, each time a little more restless. When we were going after Crocus and Irissa, I could almost hear them, like they were whispering to me, talking from somewhere deep. And even I can't deny that all this sounds to a lot like, you know, him. She looks off into the distance. Eldian? Who the fuck was Eldian? I don't remember Eldian. I guess he or she was one of the people who killed her sisters. Should we just tell her to say it out loud? Now let's just say it ourselves. The Voices of Nerat. Or, wait, damn it, this is so difficult. I should have freaking saved. Say it, Verse. Yeah, say it, Verse. Fear with Verse. Ah, damn. The Voice of Nerat. You happy now? She scowls. The thought alone that I could be anything like the Voice of Nerat makes me want to flay myself. She inhales deeply, chest rising, then lets it out through her teeth in a low, prolonged hiss. Worried about the Archon of Secrets? The voice of Nerat is a parasite. You're a predator. If you don't want to turn into him, don't be like him. Pitfighter. When people you care about die, especially if you feel responsible, you try to keep them alive within you. Yeah, let's pick the Pitfighter option since we picked that background. That's sweet, Fatebinder. Like a pie that's been left out too long. It might taste good on the way down, but then you spend 3 days squatting over a latrine. Her eyebrows jerk up. The voice of Nerat is a parasite. You are a predator. Now he's a parasite, sure, but that wasn't always true. Maybe it starts with the killing, but eventually you have got others doing the killing for you. Well, that's a good point, but still. That's how Archons are made, right? And Overlords. Well, I can't argue with that. Worried about the Archon of Secrets? All the time. In the end, either he hollows you out or finds something worse to do with you. Sure, he can rip people's thoughts away, but what about the slower, more insidious stuff? Like how he fashions his eyes. He shudders. Like how he fashions his eyes. Not sure what she means with that. I guess that's what worries me. He's already made me his eyes on you. What if he wants to make me his eyes too? There are worse names than 18th Eye. Guess we go with this. Sure, like 23rd Eye. Well, guess we're gonna go through all of this. If you don't want to turn into him, don't be like him. What exactly are you suggesting? The right corner of her lip twists. Force yourself to stay human. Leave the Scarlet Chorus. Be stronger than him. Maybe don't eat people. What, you eat people? I don't know about that verse. Be stronger than him. Or force yourself to stay human. Be stronger than him. That's the dream, right? Now we just need 1,000 years, some artifacts of immense power, an expansive information network, and the largest army the Tears has ever seen. She shrugs. One more thing before I call it a day, Fatebinder. Yes? After we spoke to Essa, I slipped a scout some rings to keep an eye on the place and send word if anything out of the ordinary happened. She cracks her knuckles beneath her calloused palms. Essa, I think she was the mother of one of the females who killed her sisters. Apparently there have been some strangers lurking about. I would like to head back to River's Break and see if we can't grab one. Maybe take a little knowledge out of him. But not, you know, in a directly out of the head kind of way. She frowned sheepishly. I'll make it a priority. We'll check it out if we get the chance. There's really more pressing things happening right now, Verse. Well, yeah, but I'll make it a priority. I mean, it's very close by anyway. Thanks. Who knows? Maybe we'll dig up something we can use against the Archons. Maybe. Let's get moving. The war's not over yet. She nods. Okay, that was that. I don't believe that Sirin or Eb wanted to talk to us. And let's see. Do I have? Oh yes, the Edict of Stone is no more, so we don't have the buffs or debuffs anymore. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm gonna end this episode here, and in the next episode, let's see. So we could go to River's Bank and see if Essa is still alive, and maybe catch a spy or whatever, and see what happens then. We could go there because it's basically right next door. And after that, and yeah, Iron Heart is now available. We could go there and talk to Graven Ash or kill every single one in the fortress. And we also have to go to Bastard City and have an audience with Tunon. I think that in the next episode we go to River's Break real fast and deal with the spies or whatever, and then after that we go to Bastard City and where is Lantry's cottage, by the way? Let's see, the Burning Library is here, the former Vellum Citadel. Are there any other new locations here? Or maybe we have to go back to Bastard's Wound. Let's check out our quests real quick. The Stones of Elucidation. Oh, Jesus, I have forgotten this entirely. We could also do this real quick, and finally bring the stones to this random hieroglyphs guy. Actually, can we still do that? Oh, he should be here. He should be here. Yes, we can go there. So we could do that in the next episode as well, if I remember it. Okay, Seeds of Power. Oh yeah, this is about the spires. Kilgraven Ash. Final Judgment. Travel to Tuno's Court. Speak with the Voices of Nerat. I guess we could after we have dealt with our boss Tunon, we could go to the Voice of Nerat and try to make him bow to us, or we kill him and take the Scarlet Chorus for ourselves. Both of them works. Strange, didn't we get the quest from Lantry? Lantry.
Greetings, Archon. How may I assist?
You wanted to discuss Lixim's Chronicles? Despite the madness of late, I have been finding time to read further. It's the same thing. We could go back and ask her, although I doubt it. No, I worry she wouldn't recall, and I no longer trust what she tells me. Yeah, I didn't think so. Anyway, Lixim left a lot of notes in the margins, and they led me to believe she stashed some tombs upside before she arrived at Bastard's Wound. Okay, let's just do this real quick. Let's go and find it, I guess. Lantry's Hideaway. There we go. Perfect, I lead the way whenever you are ready. Okay. Annal Sects. Okay, so where is it? Not here. It's all the way there. Okay, so I guess that in the next episode, first we go to River's Break and deal with the spies and see how Essa is doing. Then we go to Lantry's Hideaway and try to find that tomb. Shouldn't be too hard. And then we go to Bastard City, deal with Tunon and hear what he's going to do. Is he going to bow to us, or is he going to stay loyal to Kairos and fight us? And oh yeah, I was also about to say that maybe we have to fight Bled and Mark in there as well. But because we have already sent him a missive where we say that let's meet up somewhere and then fight to our heart's content, I don't think that we need to do that. Oh yeah, we don't even know where we're supposed to meet. Well, I guess we find that out when he sends his answer back, which I think we should get by the time we get to River's Break. So anyway, so we deal with Tunon, and then after that, if we have time, we go to Cacophony and talk to the Voice of Nerat, if we have time. But anyway, that's my plan for the next episode. So until then, thank you for watching once again, and see you next time for more Tyranny.